it is being said, I saw a whole piece on this, and this woman even shot some social media videos. So it is being said you got to be careful what you say to your doctor.
I watch every word I say to my
Well,
doctor.
also, there are certain questions the doctor might ask you that you should think twice on answering. Why? Because just being asked a question by your doctor could add an extra fee to your bill at the office,
Oh.
at the doctor's office. What am I talking about? So this woman is warning that you should never answer this question at your doctor's office. You know, I've heard of this being asked, but I didn't know that this could be an additional charge.
We're going to have to talk to doctors about this.
So I was thinking about going to phones on this
Yeah,
and maybe
right?
asking, have you ever experienced this? So this woman named Rachel, she shares an experience of a recent doctor's office visit for like a annual exam. She's going for her annual doctor's visit.
So she's seeing the lady parts doctor, right?
No, that's a regular general practitioner.
Okay, the way you said the annual
No.
exam, I thought.
No, well, it's her annual. Maybe it is the guy. No,
I
I don't know.
Okay.
All right. So Rachel goes to see the doctor, and then Rachel is warning everybody if the doctor asks this question, don't answer it. I just found out that when you go to the doctor every year, and they're asking you if you have any thoughts or questions about your alcohol or substance issues, if they ask you about your mental health, that you get charged for that. And that is considered like a different line item or a different coding.
Oh.
So there are some doctors that if they ask you a simple question, if you're have any alcohol issues, any substance issues, so it's like a mental health screening. So Rachel says that she was billed just because the doctor asked about alcohol, any substance issues, how is your mental health? Do you have any bad thoughts?
It's a different coding line where they can bill for it?
Suddenly she says that she was charged $60 extra, and it was labeled as a mental health screening. Has anyone had this happen?
Every time you go to the doctor, they ask, how often do you drink? Or do you drink? And if you do, how often do you smoke?
You ever have dreams about gladiators?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Wow, the annual appointment and then like a mental. If anyone has any, insight on this, has this happened to you? Do you work at a doctor's office? Is there a coding for like the annual mental health screening, which you can then, one question, like a 30-second interaction then gets billed at $60, or in this case, all right, 800. Look at the phones.
It doesn't matter how long the screening is.
I haven't even given out the phone numbers yet, and the phones are ringing.
Oh, my God, every line is ringing.
Try to get in, folks. 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. So Rachel is saying if the doctor asks you a question about alcohol, drugs, substance abuse, your mental health, don't answer it. You're going to get billed. All right, look at the phone. Let me grab Marianne in St. Pete up first. MJ Morning Show. Hi, Marianne.
Good morning.
Hey.
I work in healthcare, and this is part of the standard of care, and it's mandated by sort of like the federal government because it comes down from Medicare that yearly you need to have a behavioral health, a mental health kind of check.
All right, I get it. I think it's a great thing, but if you're going for an annual exam, is that billed, Marianne, is that billed as a separate charge?
Sure, just like if you go in there and, if you're diabetic, they're going to do certain testing. So that's your practitioner that's doing that, not including it in your annual exam, I would think. We don't charge extra for the yearly behavioral health. We have our clients fill out a questionnaire.
All right, so that's part of the regular price of the exam. You it's kind of like it's included.
It's built in.
Okay,
Yeah, it's
all
built
right.
in.
Well, I guess there are some doctors that will code it as a separate billing item.
Well, I can say that if you go in for your annual yearly physical and you say, oh, my big toe hurts too, or I've got this, they're going to charge you extra for that because
right.
they're only going to code it for like well visit.
All right, Marianne, I appreciate the call. Thank you for listening. Have a great weekend, and thanks for the insight. I want to move along because every line is jammed.
That's really
Michelle.
interesting. Wow.
Yeah, Land O'Lakes, and Michelle is next. Hey, Michelle.
Hi.
Hey.
I wanted to comment. I also heard what Marianne said about that. And a few years ago, well, many years ago, I went for an annual exam, and the doctor asked me if I had any other questions. And so I answered. I said, yeah, I have one question. I literally took me 30 seconds to ask the question. It took her less than a minute to answer the question, and they billed me for an office visit.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was really upset about because I went to the, to check out,
Yeah.
and they told me it was the office visit, $60 or whatever,
Yeah.
$65, whatever my office visit was.
Yeah, copay,
I said,
whatever.
no, this is my annual. And they said, well, no, because, and I said, you mean to tell me you're going to charge me $60 because my doctor asked me if I had any questions, and it took her a minute to answer the question. So I don't even, when they ask that anymore, I don't ask any questions.
Wow. So and that's what Rachel is saying in this video that she posted in this story. Thank you, Michelle.
Isn't that completely counterproductive to going to the doctor?
Thanks.
You have any questions? Yeah, what's this?
Alex in Polk County. Alex, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hey, like anytime I went to the ER, whether it was for like a surgery or anything, they're like a mandatory question has always been, oh, do you feel safe at home?
Oh, yeah.
Do you?
Well, listen, you go to a hospital, you go to an ER, they're charging you for the air you're breathing in the emergency room.
Right.
I'm not talking about having an oxygen cannula jammed in your nostrils, just the regular air, just walking through the place. I think you get billed for it.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm here for a surgery, not if I'm going to shoot my neighbor or something.
Oh, yeah. I'm in for an ingrown toenail, not me going all.
I mean, I get the questions. I mean, they want to make sure you're going home to a safe environment for your recovery. I get it. But to be billed extra for it's ridiculous.
If you're unsafe at home, if you're scared of your wife, blink twice. Alex, thanks for the call. Karen in St. Pete. Karen, MJ Morning Show. Hello.
Hello, good morning to you.
Yes, good morning.
Hi. Yes, I was just recently a victim of that. I called myself. I went to a well woman checkup,
Yep.
and usually there's no copayment. I received about 3.5 weeks later a $30 copayment in my mailbox at home. I called and I said, I've had insurance. I've never had this issue before. And she said, well, what did you specifically discuss with the doctor about? I said, nothing specific, but, when you check in, they give you the iPad to fill out information.
Mm-hmm.
And I have no issues that I needed to discuss. It was just annually. I still had to pay my copay.
Wow.
Because she said it was all in how it was coded in my discussion.
Yeah, that's the thing with insurance and insurance companies that will accept or deny. Sometimes things are coded wrong. That's a whole big shtick going on. Listen, if you go to see the doctor and the doctor says, hey, how about that Baker Mayfield? Don't answer the question.
No opinion.
You get a bucks charge.
That's it.
Bucks for bucks.
$60 for talking about the Bucks.
Exactly. Thanks. Melissa, let me grab Andrew, just 3 or 4 more here. And then I got to move on. Melissa is in Tampa. Melissa, hi, you're on the MJ Morning Show.
Hi, I'm a medical biller and coder for a doctor's office.
Yep.
And they got it all wrong. There's no specific extra charge for them asking a question about alcoholism or anything like that. There's no extra charge. And the doctors may circle certain things, but us coders, we have a guideline that we have to follow. And we can't just add charges just to add them.
All right, here's the deal. So let me give a little more specifics. And if you're just tuning in, we're talking about this woman named Rachel. She posted a video. She got a whole story going that she went for an annual visit to the doctor. And she claims, hey, if you're asked this question or similar questions, don't answer the questions. You're going to get billed. And she was asked about any substance issues, alcohol, and they charged her $60 and like coded it and classified it. The doctor's just saying, hey, any issues we need to know about, any alcohol, substance? And she answers, nope, everything's okay. And that got billed as a mental health screening, an annual alcohol screen billed at 15 minutes, and also a brief emotional behavioral assessment because the doctor asked like one question.
That's the assessment?
Yeah.
And there was no treatment? It was just, oh, wow, this is nuts. They're going to bill you for everything, man.
So, Melissa, you're telling me that you haven't heard of what Rachel's talking about?
No. Now they send out. They have things where they circle that they discuss like alcoholism or anything like that, but that doesn't mean it's charged extra. That's just letting whoever knows.
Melissa, maybe in your office, maybe you guys don't do it, but apparently it does. It does happen elsewhere.
I've worked for several doctors' offices, and I've never seen this, and I've been doing this for many
Okay.
years.
Right. No, sir. I'm not doubting you, but I guess it is happening somewhere.
I mean, maybe this doctor office is.
Maybe there's some doctors that don't have any morals. May do that.
No, listen, Melissa. It sounds like
She's
you
right.
work. Sounds like you work for good doctors that aren't tacking on an extra fee if they're asking you about your mental health during a 1 minute question as part of your annual exam. Melissa, thank you for listening.
No, that just means I'm a good coder.
Or there you go.
Yes.
Yeah. And listen, as you know, coding can make a big difference. Insurance companies will deny if there's like a slight difference in the, well, you know the whole story, that if things aren't coded right. And a lot of times you need a good doctor, a great staff in the back of the house to code things right so you don't get hammered or get screwed over by the insurance company and get the rigmarole of denials.
Oh, and that lady was talking about she had to pay a $30 copay.
Yep.
That's not an issue with the doctor's office. That's something with her insurance company. We only go by what the insurance
Oh,
company
absolutely. I do know that. Melissa, thank you. Have a great weekend. All right, 2 more quickies here, then we're going to move on. I gotta do the bikini story. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I want to hear it.
Oh, the bikini story. Apparently, this is a trend that I don't want to see. All right, Lewis in Tampa. Lewis, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hello.
Yeah, hey, good morning, MJ. I want to say I love your show. I listen all the time. It makes me laugh before I start my day.
Thank you. That's the goal.
Louis Bombino here in Tampa, born and raised. So one thing you want to do when you go to the doctor, my advice to all the listeners, don't say a word, pretend you have a piece of duct tape over your mouth.
Yeah.
So I had a doctor that had gone to my primary, and I hadn't seen him in maybe a year. I called because I had a sore throat or maybe a sinus infection. I can't remember. It was a long time ago. And they said, well, we're not taking new patients, and now you're considered a new patient. So went to a new doctor and, went in hopefully to get like a Z-Pack or something to knock out the sinus infection.
Yep.
He asked me, anything else going on? I said, well, I have a little tendonitis in my elbow because I walk my dog every day, and he's a big Labrador, and he kind of pulls on me a little bit. So he said, oh, wait right here. He comes back, brings me a sheet of paper, and it shows me how to bend my fingers back to stretch it.
Well, extra charge?
A month later, I get a $120 charge.
Yeah.
And it's tendonitis.
It's therapy. He gave you therapy. He gave you physical therapy. That's exactly right.
I told the office, I said, I am not paying this. It's a matter of principle.
Wow.
You can send me to collections.
Yeah, then they turn you over to collections and
That's
your
fine.
house is foreclosed upon.
No.
Your credit score went from 725 to 480.
Didn't I just see, MJ, that medical debt can no longer be used in
Yeah,
credit?
yeah, that's new. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So
Hey,
fine.
yeah, Lewis.
Send me to credit. Send me to collections.
Bring that up. Bring up that quickly.
I will.
Bring up that story. You know what? I had that in the pile earlier this week. I just didn't get around to it. All right, one last call. Jessica is in Largo. Hello, Jessica. MJ Morning Show. Hit it.
Good morning. So, when it comes to your primary care, because I'm a medical assistant, I've worked primary care, and if it's an annual exam, we are allowed to ask that, just because you should have that asked at least once a year without any extra charges.
Yeah, I mean, you'd think that would be part of the coverage.
You'd
That's
think.
that's not covered.
Nope.
We ask you about alcoholism or substance abuse, or are things safe at home, and how's your mental health? Any thoughts of taking your neighbor's face and running it into your lawnmower blade? Extra charge, mental health assessment. Yeah, I guess some will do it, but some don't. Thank you. I appreciate the call. Have a wonderful weekend. Thanks for watching the video. Hope you liked it. Go ahead and click, share, subscribe, all this stuff.